Alex, you're up.
Man, I don't even know where to go. I need to see this picture, number one.
Yeah.
John, thank you so much. I mean, I love this conversation. We share the same heart around sales, man. I also want to thank you. You actually had a really awesome conversation with Chris Shembra, who's been on here before. We've talked about gratitude, and that piece about receiving gratitude really stuck with me, because I don't think we think about, like, when someone just gives us thank you, we go like, no worries, like no big deal, like that's what I do. But that's like totally the opposite, because we take away their joy. We rob them of that. Like, we need to honor it. And I've been doing that in my sales calls. When someone goes, oh my gosh, thank you for sending me like absolutely, like, no, thank you for telling me that. Like, that means a lot to me. Like,
you're welcome.
That's really important. You're welcome.
Yeah.
And if there's anything I can do, let me know. But thank you for actually saying that. So I want you to know that you actually changed a little bit of how I kind of respond to customers. But my question for you, John, so I've heard you talk, I think you embody just authentic selling, and it's such a tagline now, and it's such a buzzword. And I started a podcast, Stories of Selling Human, because I just think, like Scott said, we're all in sales, but the best are doing it through the lens of human connection. And a lot of people don't know how to really kind of apply that or unlock it in themselves. And we see great people, all like our baristas can do it, or an Uber driver can do it, and even the best salespeople doing it, and they're doing the same things. I just firmly believe that. So my question, can you think or give an example of somebody in your life, like maybe that taught you this authentic type of selling? I don't know if it was your dad or growing up, or just where some of the people in your life that you can kind of point to, like, oh my gosh, that was it. That was where this person really, showed to me how to really connect with people on a genuine, authentic way, because I think that's the key to selling. And it's just thrown around so in such a very, trendy topic right now.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think it definitely is my mom and dad. My dad is so I got science and art. My dad is an electrical engineer. He was an electrical engineer, PhD, really, really smart, but always fought the system. Like, he had zero filter, and he never really progressed like to the high, because he just felt like his work would speak for itself and you would get promoted. You know what I mean? He was the anti-sales guy, you know what I mean? Like, literally, but it was because he was so good at what he did and he was so smart. But my mom, on the other hand, was an artist. She taught art therapy. She's got 2 master's degrees. She's extremely smart as well, but she's extremely empathetic. And so I think those two pieces put together, growing up, and I think, if I were to pinpoint one thing, it's, growing up, my dad always said, as long as I was honest, I could pretty much do whatever the hell I wanted to do. Like, if the worst thing I could do is lie, right? That was literally the worst thing I could do to my dad. And if I did lie, it was all over. You know what I mean? It was like 3 to 6 months to earn back his trust. And so I'm a terrible liar. And I think that helps from an authenticity standpoint, because I don't know how to be full of shit. I also think it's a waste of time. You know what I mean? Like, lying is a waste of time in so many ways, and misrepresenting yourself is a waste of time. I'd rather get to a no, for instance, in a sale. I'd rather talk about all the things that my stuff doesn't do as fast as I can possibly talk about it, because you're going to figure that shit out eventually. So I might as well bring it up and kind of disqualify in a lot of ways versus qualify. So I don't necessarily know if there was a mentor or anything. I just think it comes from just a pure, just not knowing how to lie all that well, not being really all that good at it, and not really liking to waste in it too much time. And, maybe the Boston thing comes in handy a little bit, being, in your face, direct, and just growing up in a world that there's no bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, Boston, if I don't like you, I'm going to straight up tell you I don't like you. I'm not going to pretend like I like you, and then later on, tell people behind your back that you suck. Like, I will straight up tell you in your face that you suck. That's why I got fired from Staples, because I told the, president of a $14 billion part of the organization that him and his team sucked, and all his people laughed at him, and they eventually let me go. Offered me another position. But I think that's a lot of it. And there's also just like a confidence in that too. The confidence factor versus ego. I always talk about the balance between confidence and ego. There's a fine line between the two, but a very, very distinct difference. And I've really tried to build my confidence based on values over the years, and knowing that I do things for the right reasons. At least I think I'm coming from a good place. And if I screw somebody, it's not because I meant to. It's just because I screwed up or something like that. So I think that was part of it. So it's tough because I've always been in a position where I never, I think because of my dad, never really held back of pushing back to stuff that I didn't think was right, no matter what level you were at. You know what I mean? If you were the CEO, if you were my boss, if you were a director, I always had a little bit of my dad in me that said, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, but it wasn't just me complaining about it. It was like, that doesn't make sense. And this is why, and here's how I'm doing it. And here's how it compares to what you're doing. And this is why I think it's better, because it's producing better results. And if you don't believe that, then I'm going to go find something else to do, because you're somebody who doesn't really understand how to work with people. I could be the person that sweeps the floors in a company. I do not give a shit. The problem is, do not put a box around me and prevent me from doing what is the right thing to do. You know, that's why we have an extremely flat organization here. The only person I've ever fired here at JV Sales is because it was an executive assistant. I thought I needed one because, you know, I was like, all right, well, I guess I probably need somebody to, you know, coordinate my life and stuff. But the problem is, I'm a very organized person. So I'm a zero inbox guy. I'm very task oriented, all that stuff. So executive assistants have a hard time with me. The reason I didn't fire her because I didn't need her. The reason I fired her is because I was at dinner one time with my whole team, and there was 15 people, there was 12 people, and we were in Vegas. And I got up to go to the bathroom, and I heard out of the corner of my ear, I heard, "Oh, he got up. We should get up and follow him." And it was basically like, the CEO got up, so we should all get up type of thing. And I was like, I stopped dead in my tracks, and I turned. I was like, absolutely not. I go, we are as flat as it goes. If you ever put me on this pedestal again, this relationship will be over. And right there, I was just like, you're not, she's great. She would have been great for a typical CEO who doesn't know his kids' birthdays and needs to get, you know, somebody to pick up his dry cleaning and, you know, buy cards for his wife and stuff like that, because he's a douchebag. Like, probably a really good executive assistant for that type of CEO. But I'm not that type of CEO. So that's kind of where it comes from.
So they're...
Yeah, that looks like an excited crowd, doesn't it?
So look,
yeah.
that's Grant Cardone hosting this, and Jamie and I look like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I almost jumped up on stage and punched him right in the mouth. Quite frankly, I was so appalled.
I think I look jacked in that picture. Can we put that back up, Gath? I mean, damn. I don't know what I was doing back then. Right? Am I right? I'm looking good. Anyway,
there's no smiles of anybody.
No. Well, we were pretty unhappy.